wait till next week when I get them. Yeah, actually, my husband had to steal a couple of them because he was like, these are cool books. And I was like, yeah, you're going to have it. And so he started his own little, he doesn't do any troubleshooting now. I guess he's always trying to figure out how to get out of work.
It really is. I don't see anything wrong with this. Always the only thing that worked was putting in the thread sleep in there to make it cause count. And then, of course, now that that's working, I realize I've got a lot of here. The total score, it says they tied. There were 3 battles. There's no way 3 comes out to a tie.
Oh, no matter what.
So, okay, where did I go wrong?
I'll try to get us more previews too. They keep sending me emails about stuff, so I'll start responding. Yes. Let me see if I can find our. Do you want to do that too? We will. Because I think I have it set that way in our assignments after the hands-on, but that's fine. Let me make sure I've got it.
As I hang there, I can't get everything exactly synchronized. Like my stand is off, but every time I change the grip position, it goes way to the right. Or
you know, I meant to email you last night. I'm so sorry. Are you still using that grid pane?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's separating things on you?
Yeah.
Should you use just a pane? Try just making it a pane and see what it changes, because since you're putting everything in separate spots, they're not gonna.
That's why it's taking me forever.
They're not gonna snap together. And I thought about 9 o'clock last night. I was like, why are they actually using a grid pane? In that grid pane, you got it to connect. I don't know how you got it.
If I can stand, I want to submit it.
Okay, do
now
it.
I'm being stubborn.
Just do it.
Are you doing the stand as an arch?
Yes.
Have you tried increasing the radius?
No, I was thinking about that.
To where it'll maybe extend up?
Yeah.
That would be my one thought.
It's off and to the left. Like here's the stand, and then here's the right here. And if I move it one over, it goes over here.
Oh, okay.
It's on the grid.
Okay, couple of things before your exam. You guys have plenty of time, don't worry. I'm going to put this readme.md out on the announcements.
Awesome, thank you.
And this is the type format that I would like in your GitHub repo to replace that old program submission document. I would rather have this readme.md. So you're going to do a paragraph about your project. It might be a really short paragraph. Now, your example output, right now, I have it set to be looking at this file, this readme.jpg. If you change that file name, you're going to have to change that name in here in this .md file. So I will post a readme.jpg out there too. Then your analysis step is going to explain how you analyzed it, kind of like those questions in that document. You know, what kind of things did you run into? What were things that were tricky to you? Whatever you think the important points are. And design, how did you approach your program design? Did you use multiple classes? Things like that. And then if you want to, you could maybe give examples about that this class called this other class, or however you want. And then your testing plan should say something about how you tested until you got the right response and repeated. So I'll get this markdown file posted in the announcements, and you can just start using it instead of that program submission document whenever you want. That's fine. You'll still submit in Canvas to tell me that it's out there in GitHub, because otherwise I won't know. Now, what I really wanted to show you, Rachel submitted a great question last night. Yes, sir?
Does the image have to be in the README document, or do we just name it?
It's a separate file that you just name in that README document, and it'll pull it in. You don't have to. The way,
Real complicated.
yeah, I wouldn't want you to. I like it separate, and then that way if you want to update your image, you can. You don't have to worry about it. I'll show you one.
So put that image file in the repo.
in the repo and it'll find
And
it.
Name it whatever,
Yes,
and you'll be able to see it.
it'll find it.
You have more than one.
You can only have one readme.md. You could have multiple markdown files though, if you wanted to.
I was thinking with the hangman, okay, here's the head, here's the.
Right, yeah, you could have multiple images. You'll see that syntax for displaying that image in the markdown file, and you could just repeat it for additional image files, and it'll go ahead and display them for you. I don't have a good example here. It's in my 171 repo. Bless you. There's one. So in this is kind of what I'll be sending you. So this markdown file, this has different areas for you to put your stuff in. And this is an example that shows that image being displayed by the markdown. So it does look really nice as far as making your repo be a nice portfolio for you. And you can, so be thinking about those kinds of things as you're filling out this information. If there's a spot where you've got nothing to say, delete it instead of sounding like someone who can't think of anything to say, because you want this to be something that speaks well of you. So if you're just totally at a loss for words, delete that section instead of saying, I don't care, or something like that. Okay, then Rachel's question. She was asking about a wireframe tool. And as we're doing our GUI applications, that's a really good point. And there are lots and lots of them out there. But I wanted to show you one that you already have that you might not be thinking about. And I actually kind of like it. Let's take a look at Visio. And when you're in Visio, look, if you search for wireframe, you'll see that they actually have a wireframe template for you to use. And they have a bunch of shapes, shape libraries. So I'm going to go ahead and create a wireframe diagram. So in the different shape libraries that they give you, right now it's looking at toolbars. So it has all the different toolbar options. We probably wouldn't need anything like that. But it does have controls. So you can put in like list boxes, buttons, things like that onto your layout for how you want things to look. Common icons. Those are pretty interesting. Cursors. And so what I was thinking for this, the one that you have due next Tuesday with the hangman picture, you could use just regular shapes for it. So I could do, I have to find it because Visio is just a little bit different. To insert. Where in Visio? I just want to draw a stupid circle. Where are our just regular shapes like we could do in Word? I know they're around here somewhere. Well, I'll find those while you guys are taking your test. But what I could do for Hangman then, find the regular shapes. I'll draw a circle and a couple lines on here to get it all laid out. Well, how is that going to help me? Well, I can go to View then, and I can check Grid so that I make it into a nice grid sheet. And then I can say each of these boxes is 10 points, right, on Java, and I can decide where I wanted to lay things out. Yes?
The circles and stuff, click on more shapes.
More shapes and get
And
some
then go to
circles.
general, and then basic
I was
shapes.
thinking I could find them without even having to add more shapes, but that's the best way. Just basic shapes. Is that where you found them in there? Got some circles. So we could just put his head on there and our sticks and however you want to do it. So I like that we can, with Visio, add the grid background behind it so that we can get an idea of what our XY coordinates should be. And so if I decide for this hangman picture, I want my line to be, 50 blocks. I could say, okay, that's 500 units in Java, and I could try that and see if it worked out to kind of line myself up a little bit better instead of just shooting in the dark and hoping that things come out matching.
Uh-huh. I know.
Try that grid and see. And as we do our other GUI step, we want to make sure that we're trying to play in anyway. So however you do it will work great. I would probably get an old piece of graph paper like this out of my garage and draw it by hand, just because to me that would be faster. But then I would still be able to count up the cells here to decide how many units big something should be. Does that make sense? So just for your benefit and to decide how you want to lay things out, I think we can really, really improve our time passed from beginning to end if we have a nice wireframe and we kind of have an idea of where we want things a little bit. So nothing I'm going to make you turn in, just something for you to plan and make your things go faster. Any other questions before we get started? Yes, sir?
With the wireframe, would people normally do that? It's like a rough draft.
Rough draft type thing. Show other people, does this look right? Is this the way you want it? It's amazing how particular people can get about things like that. And so you could have a whole bunch of, no, we need this thing to be at the top. And there can be users that are just really adamant about that. So it's a great way to just show them what you're thinking. So, but with a lot of different GUI design tools, some programmers might just develop a basic form to show to them too. So either way is fine. Any others? Okay, you guys have an exam. Don't forget you can use a page of notes, whatever you have. Whenever you're done, you're welcome to get out of here, get home before it freezes all over again or whatever. If you want to stay here and work on that Unit 1 hands-on exam to get it out of your way, that's fine too. So just let me know if you run into any problems. And you're on your own.
Access code?
Oh, darn. Did I access code you? Darn it, I'm sorry. Yes, Unit 1 exam. That way we make sure nobody gets in there accidentally, huh? Oh, there it is. Java 1. All in lowercase. No spaces.
But we want to use previous projects for this as reference.
You can use those for your